In the grand halls of Malacanang Palace, where the weight of history lingers in every corridor, a moment unfolded that would ripple far beyond the Philippines. The palace, a symbol of Filipino sovereignty and resilience, became the stage for a diplomatic gesture that would reshape the region's future. A simple handshake between Japanese and Filipino leaders, captured by cameras and watched by millions, marked not just a new agreement, but a profound shift in alliances and ambitions. For Southeast Asia, this was a turning point. A signal that the balance of power and influence was changing, and that new partnerships were being forged in the face of uncertainty. At the heart of this new alliance was a transformative railway project. Once a grand promise from China, the project had languished amid delays and diplomatic friction, leaving hopes for modern infrastructure unfulfilled. Now, with Japan stepping in as a committed partner, the vision was revived, this time with a promise of reliability, advanced technology, and mutual respect. Years of rising tensions and broken promises from Beijing had left Manila searching for trustworthy allies. The uncertainty had cast a shadow over the country's development goals and regional standing. Japan, known for its steadfast commitment and shared democratic values, answered the call. Their approach was measured, respectful, and focused on building lasting ties. This partnership was about more than just trains and tracks. It was a clear message to the world. The Philippines was ready to diversify its alliances and embrace a future shaped by cooperation, not dependency. By reaching out to new partners, Manila was signaling a broader realignment, one that would see the country engaging with a wider circle of friends and reducing its reliance on any single power. Japan's methodical, long-term approach stood in stark contrast to China's grand but often unfulfilled promises. The Japanese commitment was quiet but unwavering, focused on sustainable growth and mutual benefit. In that historic handshake, a new chapter began, one defined by pragmatic alliances, shared prosperity, and a vision for a more stable and interconnected Southeast Asia. Manila's pivot away from China didn't happen overnight. It was a gradual process, shaped by years of mounting frustration, broken promises, and growing security concerns. For a long time, the Philippines tried to balance its relationship with Beijing, hoping for economic benefits while managing territorial disputes. But as China's presence in the West Philippine Sea became more assertive, the situation grew tense. Filipino patrols found themselves increasingly challenged by Chinese vessels, and the sense of threat became impossible to ignore. Violent maritime confrontations escalated, with ramming incidents and injuries to Filipino sailors making headlines. These weren't isolated events. They were part of a pattern that shattered any illusion of a benign partnership with China. At home, outrage grew. Filipino fishermen, once hopeful for peaceful coexistence, now faced harassment and intimidation at sea. The government faced mounting pressure as China's disregard for international law became a daily reality for many coastal communities. President Marcos Jr. responded decisively. He reaffirmed the country's alliance with the United States, condemned Beijing's actions on the world stage, and made it clear that the Philippines would not be bullied into submission. For many Filipinos, the security threat was no longer abstract. It was personal, urgent, and demanded action. The nation's sovereignty and the safety of its people were at stake. Meanwhile, the economic promises that once seemed so enticing began to unravel. China's Belt and Road Initiative had pledged billions for infrastructure, but on the ground, progress was painfully slow. Major projects like the Mindanao Railway stalled or were abandoned altogether, leaving communities disappointed and skeptical. Hopes for a new era of development faded as construction sites sat idle and equipment gathered dust. By 2023, the message was unmistakable. President Marcos Jr. skipped the Belt and Road Forum and canceled key Chinese-funded rail projects, signaling a dramatic shift in policy and priorities. Across the country, frustration boiled over. Protesters demanded accountability, and workers at incomplete sites voiced their anger. The Philippines was done waiting for empty promises and undelivered aid. Manila began searching for new partners, ones who could deliver on their commitments. Japan, with its long history of reliable cooperation, quickly emerged as the preferred choice. Japanese-funded infrastructure projects moved forward, and Japanese engineers became a common sight on Philippine work sites. The contrast with stalled Chinese projects was stark. With new agreements signed and a spirit of mutual respect, the stage was set for a new era. one defined by reliable, mutually beneficial cooperation and a renewed sense of hope for the Philippines' future. As China's influence waned, Japan's decades-long commitment to Philippine development took center stage. Japanese officials didn't need to make new promises. They pointed to completed high-quality projects across the country. In August 2025, a Japanese rating agency affirmed the Philippines' investment-grade status, boosting investor confidence. Japanese capital surged in, accounting for over 60% of foreign direct investment in late 2024. This was no trickle. It was a flood, signaling deep trust in the Philippines' future. Japan's approach focused on sustainability, technology transfer, and local capacity building. Unlike China, Japan was a co-developer, not just a financier. The partnership was about building for generations, not just political headlines. Japan's investment was a bet on shared growth and stability. Japan's investment in the Philippines is both massive and highly strategic, reaching into nearly every sector of the economy. From infrastructure and manufacturing to technology and finance, Japanese companies are leaving a significant mark on the country's development. This isn't just about money, it's about shaping the future of the Philippines and deepening ties between two nations. Ambitious projects like the Metro Manila subway and the North-South commuter railway are transforming the country's landscape, connecting cities and regions that were once isolated. These massive undertakings are not only improving transportation, but also setting new standards for urban mobility and efficiency in the Philippines. These aren't just transit lines, they're engines for jobs, economic growth, and regional development. Thousands of Filipinos are employed in construction, engineering, and operations, while local businesses benefit from increased connectivity and access to new markets. With a young, tech-savvy population and a rapidly expanding middle class, the Philippines is a prime market for Japanese goods and services. From electronics and automobiles to financial services and consumer products, Japanese brands are becoming household names, shaping the way Filipinos live, work, and play. Japan's long-standing role as a top trading partner and a major source of development aid has built deep trust and mutual respect. Decades of collaboration have laid a strong foundation for today's economic partnership, making Japan a reliable ally in the Philippines' journey toward progress. This surge in investment is not a sudden move, but rather an acceleration of a partnership that has been nurtured for generations. From early trade agreements to modern megaprojects, the relationship has evolved, adapting to the changing needs of both countries. For Japan, investing in the Philippines is a strategic hedge against its own aging and shrinking domestic market. By tapping into the Philippines' youthful workforce and dynamic economy, Japan is securing new opportunities for growth and innovation. The relationship is truly symbiotic. Japan brings in capital, advanced technology, and expertise, while the Philippines offers growth potential, a vibrant market, and a talented labor force. Together they are building industries, transferring knowledge, and creating value that benefits both sides. Both nations are working hand in hand to secure their economic futures, fostering a spirit of cooperation that extends beyond business into education, culture, and innovation. This is more than just an economic alliance. It's a partnership built to last, shaping the destiny of both countries for generations to come. Japan's investment strategy in the Philippines goes far beyond railways. Manufacturing leads the way, with Japanese firms expanding factories and creating stable jobs. Real estate is booming as infrastructure opens new areas for development, fueling urban growth. Japanese developers are building townships and commercial centers for the rising middle class. Energy is a top priority. Japan is modernizing the grid and investing in renewables and cleaner power plants. Reliable energy is the backbone of all other investments. Japan is also driving the digital transformation, investing in telecom, data centers, and fintech. This supports the government's push for greater connectivity and financial inclusion. By building the digital and physical backbone, Japan is helping bridge the urban-rural divide. The result, a diversified, future-ready Philippine economy. The Japan-Philippines partnership is central to the global friendshoring movement, especially in semiconductors. The Philippines, already a key player in chip assembly and testing, is set for rapid growth. The U.S. has designated the Philippines as a key partner under its CHIPS Act, funding massive workforce training. Japan's technology and investment are crucial for building a resilient, secure supply chain. Together, the US, Japan, and the Philippines are creating a semiconductor corridor less vulnerable to global shocks. This collaboration is helping the Philippines climb the value chain and secure Japan's economic future. The Japan-Philippines partnership is now a cornerstone of a trilateral alliance with the United States. This alliance is a strategic response to China's assertiveness, blending economic and security cooperation. Trilateral naval drills and intelligence sharing agreements are strengthening regional deterrence. The Luzon Economic Corridor is a flagship project pooling U.S. financing, Japanese technology, and Filipino labor. Investments are coordinated for maximum impact, not competition. This alliance offers a transparent, democratic alternative to authoritarian models. The Philippines, no longer dependent on a single power, now has reliable partners. Prosperity and security are advancing hand in hand. Energy security is at the heart of the Japan-Philippines partnership, with nuclear power on the horizon. Japan and the US are guiding the Philippines towards safe, responsible nuclear integration by 2032. Training, regulatory support, and feasibility studies are laying the groundwork for a robust nuclear sector. The 123 agreement with the US and Japanese technical assistance are key milestones. Nuclear power will fuel the high-tech industries and data centers of the future. By securing energy, Japan is ensuring the long-term success of its investments and the Philippines' development. The Japan-Philippines-US alliance is more than business. It's a new axis of stability in Asia. This partnership is a pragmatic response to broken promises and rising threats. It offers a high-standard, transparent alternative to debt-trap diplomacy. The Philippines is fast-tracking its rise to upper-middle-income status, powered by modern infrastructure and high-tech industries. Friendshoring and semiconductor growth are making the country a key global supply chain hub. Japan and the Philippines are securing their futures while setting a blueprint for the region. The foundation laid in Manila is built to endure, shaping Asia's future for generations.